Hey friends, it's Mari Clark. I'm back today with another project for Honeybee Stamps. I'm going to be creating an A2 size card today. You can just see me scoring my card base here. I'm using a really light colored yellow cardstock for my base, and I'm just going to fold that and score that nicely with my bone folder. Just get it a nice, really nice firm fold. And here you can see the lattice cover plates, and I love these cover plates. They make such a cool base for your card. And so I'm going to cut those from some white cardstock and layer them on top of each other, just gluing that one top layer onto the bottom. And in that way, it just creates this really dimensional effect. I'm going to glue those onto my card base, and that light yellow is just going to create a really nice, soft, pretty base for my card. So here's the really sweet Birds of Paradise stamp set, and I wanted to use the two flamingo images from that stamp set to create the adornment, the embellishments for the front of my card. These are so sweet. I love them. And I'm going to place them on my Misty here once I'm settled with where I want them on my Nina cardstock. And I will pick those stamps up with the door of my Misty and go ahead and stamp those out. Now I am going to stamp these with some Copic friendly ink today. I'm going to use some Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I am going to do a little bit of Copic coloring with my flamingos here today for my card. So just swinging that door over, going to pick up those stamps and go ahead and stamp them out onto my 80-pound Nina cardstock here. So just have already stamped them out once, and I'm going to do that again just to make sure that I have a really nice crisp and solid line for my little flamingos here. These are so cute. I love them. They're adorable. This is such a cute and fun stamp set. Totally whimsical and adorable. I love it. Now I'm going to be using some R30 and some R32 to color my flamingos here. I'm going to start out with the R30. I'm going to color in the whole body part of the bird. Not the legs and not the beak, but just the center part of the bird and the head. And then I'm going to go in with the R32 and do a little bit of shading and detail in the area of the feathers and just under the back leg there to create a little bit of a shadow. And I'm just going to go tip to tip from R30 to R32 just to blend out that darker color a little bit more. And I'm only going to show you coloring the one flamingo because I did them both exactly the same. So once I have that body of the flamingo done and the legs, I'm going to go ahead and color the beak. And for the beak, I'm going to use C0 and C5. So the C0 is going to be for the first part of the beak there, and then the very end of the beak will be done with C5. So you'll just see me there quickly putting that in. And then I'm going to take the Birds of Paradise honey cuts, the dies, and cut both of those flamingos out on my cutting machine. And so once I'm all done that, I will have those ready to embellish. Now here I'm just going to show you how I glued the lattice pieces together. So the lattice pieces are, you have the smaller opening section behind the larger opening, so that the larger opening shows the detail of the smaller in behind it. And you just glue these two pieces together and you just have this totally dimensional piece for your project. And I love these cover plates. I think they're genius. They make creating a card so easy, but yet it adds amazing detail to your project. So really, really love these. So you can just see here, I'm going to glue that onto my card base. And like I said before, I love that soft yellow with the white. It's a really nice combination. Now I'm going to take my flamingos now. I'm going to be all ready to start embellishing my card. And I'm just going to show you kind of where I'm going to place them. But before I do this, I wanted to add a little bit of pattern paperwork behind where the flamingos are going to sit. So I took a piece of pattern paper from the Hot Tropics pattern paper pad, and I'll show you that here in just a few minutes. But I just took a strip of that and I'm going to glue that down. Obviously, I'm going to trim the excess off. But I also took a piece of white cardstock and punched it with a scallop punch from my stash. Never underestimate your punches in your stash. I still love using my punches for scrapbooking and card making. I use them all the time. And so I'm going to just use this. I've used that scallop punch just to do a little bit of embellishing there over top of my paper, my pattern paper. And then I'm going to take another little strip of that same yellow cardstock as on my base and just glue that on to where the white cardstock meets the pink, just to create a little bit of an edge there for some detail. And then I'll just take and trim off the excess paper with my scissors. And I'm just showing you the paper from the Hot Tropics paper pad that I used for this. I just thought it coordinated nicely with the color of my flamingos and just adds another little pop of pink on the card. So the card base is all finished and I'm ready to start embellishing it with my beautiful flamingos here. So I'm going to use some foam squares to pop the flamingos up, and I will glue those down so that they're facing each other, and then I will put the sentiment at the top of the card. So sweet. I love these flamingos. They're adorable. I'm just going to get those stuck down and move on. So here you can just see I've put another piece of white cardstock into my MISTI. I'm going to stamp out my sentiment. This sentiment is from Tropical Tweets, which is a wonderful sentiment set. And there is a coordinating honey cut die set to go along with it so that you can cut out all of the sentiments, which I think is genius. I love having that option. So now I'm just taking some clear embossing powder. I'm going to heat emboss some clear embossing powder over top of my VersaFine Onyx black ink. And it's just going to give a really nice raised edge to my sentiment there, and you can just see how it's really nice and shiny and it's dimensional. I love using that process for my sentiments. Now I'm going to take, like I said, the Tropical Tweets honey cuts, and I'm going to take the companion honey cut for the Happy Bird Day sentiment, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out that sentiment in that way. So I'm just going to stick that down there with a little bit of purple tape and run that through my die cutting machine, and that is going to create the perfect sentiment for my card front. I'm going to pop that up on some foam adhesive as well and just place that above my two little adorable birds here, and voila, I have a birthday card. Happy Birthday obviously is the sentiment, super cute. And just to add a little bit of detail, I'm going to go ahead and take some clear Wink of Stella and run that over my flamingos just to give them a little bit of shine. The light just picks that up and it makes them look super cute and adorable and a little bit sparkly. So I'm just going to run that over my entire flamingo body there and get that all finished up. Now I'm also going to put a little bit of Nouveau Glaze on the eyes of each of my little flamingos. I did color the flamingos' eyes a really light yellow. I think I used Y11 for that. I don't think I showed that. And I'm now going to use a little bit of stickles to embellish the feathers of my flamingo as well. And this is just I'm just looking at the color of the stickles that I used here. I'm not sure which ones. I think they're Stardust, actually. I'm pretty sure it's Stardust that I used on those feathers of my little bird there, just to give them a little bit of sparkle and glitter. I love that detail and how this looks on my little flamingos. I'm also going to use the Hot Tropics gem stickers to put a little bit of bling on my card as well. I'm going to put a couple at the top and a couple over to the side of the flamingo on the right. And then I don't think I do this on camera, but I add a couple of little gems to the lower left of the card by the leg of the flamingo on the left. And you can see that if you do look at any still shots of this card, you will be able to see where those other little gems are placed. I had so much fun creating this. I think the Birds of Paradise and Tropical Tweets are a great combo to create a really fun, whimsical card, and the lattice cover plates are amazing. I just think Honeybee does such a great job of creating these cover plates that really adds some fun and cool detail to your projects. Thank you so much for stopping by the Honeybee channel today for this project, and make sure you do check the description box below for links to all of the products that I used today and to the Honeybee shop. And make sure you check Honeybee out in all of the different social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook. Check out the blog. There are links to all of those different places in the description box below. Have an amazing day, my friends. I will see you another time here on Honeybee Stamps. Bye-bye.